Hi, I'm Lauren, and I wanted to share with you some of my reflections and experiences from being the Embody Your Design program. So I joined Embody Your Design in September or October 2024 after the initiation that happened at that time, and really just being very impressed by it. And it it particularly spoke to me at a point when I was just a year out of an 8-year relationship that ended very suddenly. And I have been navigating through this really deep self-rediscovery process. And there was lots of change, there was lots of learnings, there was lots of uncertainty, and I knew that I needed some support to get me out of that stuck place. But until that point, I hadn't really quite known what exactly it was that I needed. And whilst I had been studying human design for quite a while, I would say at that point, a good 3 or 4 years, along with a number of other modalities. I'm a yoga teacher, and there's lots of other things that I am interested in. What I was drawn to, particularly about Embody Your Design, was the way that Ebony shared and synthesized all of this wisdom and knowledge from across all of these different modalities, and just weave them together in a way that was really unique and powerful and relatable and totally totally adaptable to where each of us were on our own journey. And the program felt exactly what I needed, really, because I understood that I needed some support, and I needed some help to get me to where, I wanted to be, to get me out of that stuck place. But what I didn't need was to learn a ton of new information and to be taken down a very kind of structured pathway. I mean, there is a pathway in the program, but it's very unique, and it really is very flexible, and um, it really feels like a choose your own adventure, I would say. So, there was so much in this last particular round that we've just been through. There always is. But I wanted to share some of the reflections that I noticed in myself, really following this last sprint that we've just been through. So I really feel within myself that I am so much more accepting of my emotions and how I am. And that how that looks, how that's manifesting is me giving space to my feelings much more, not necessarily needing like a why for them all the time. Um, and then allowing myself time and space to process without numbing out and without moving into habitual addictive behaviors that I might have done before, and really understanding the importance in letting myself have that time and space to process. Um, there's been a renewed commitment to routines and rituals. So really getting into my value filter, really thinking about what I'm devoted to, what I value, and embedding that into my daily life. So that looks like a recommitment to self-care, to food that I'm eating, to how I'm sleeping, making time and space to do what I love, a renewed commitment to my yoga practice and my spiritual practices, which has been really lovely. There's been a definite softening in myself, I would say. I still, there's always more to do, but I can feel that there is a definite beginning to let go of how I think things should be, and this just lifelong need of having to be perfect all the time and needing to prove myself and over deliver and all of this stuff. I can feel that that is softening, and that's been a real revelation for me. Um, there's a renewed creative spark. So I'm really beginning to see how, if I allow myself to feel my feelings more and to be more fully myself, how I can use that and how I can um, become more expressed in the world, and that's showing up for me as a renewed creative spark. So I'm feeling much more inspired in my yoga teaching, way more inspired than I have in a long time. I'm really feeling that the classes and the knowledge that I'm sharing is coming from the heart again, and that had been missing for a while. I think I felt quite blocked around that for a while. And some other exciting things. So I'm leading my first yoga workshop in 2 years. An idea for that just literally dropped in one morning during the program, and that's really feeling really exciting, and it's opened up a doorway to that avenue again. And there's some new ideas emerging. So I've got ideas for a book, for a blog, for a podcast series that I'm feeling excited to take forward. And I would say overall, I'm just feeling way more trust and ease and flow and grace. New opportunities are beginning to come in. I've actually picked up a new class, a new yoga class that just came out of the blue, which has been really great. And it almost feels like a window that was like blocked off with the shutters closed has suddenly just cracked open a little bit, and the light is beginning to pour through, and that's feeling really great and exciting. And there's lots more to come. I think in terms of what was the most delightful part of the experience, what I enjoyed the most, I mean, really, the whole experience has been brilliant. So I've done 2 sprints so far, as I say, but I especially love the weekly transmissions because there is just so much wisdom in those sessions. And I think, as I said before, they really feel like a choose your own adventure story where you can listen and take it in and then explore all of the threads that speak to you through the weekly homework, through pathways and avenues that you feel drawn to explore. And in that way, the material really meets you at your own edge and really serves whatever initiation that you are going through. And I think the course is really unique in that way. Having worked with lots of practitioners and teachers over the years, it's not an easy thing to do, and it's quite rare to find in this space, I think, like a program where there is so much room and space for individuality and really receiving what each of us needs as an individual in a way that works for our unique makeup, design, circumstances, all of that stuff. So I really, really appreciate that about this program. And then if someone was to say to me a reason why they should take part in the program, I would tell them that Embody Your Design is an incredible journey into yourself, and it will meet you 100% where you are and guide you gently, mostly for the most part. Sometimes a little loving push to your next level of transformation. It has honestly, hand on heart, been everything I hoped it would be and more. I can feel and see, sort of 6 months in now, how it has been a huge catalyst for positive change across the board in my life and work, in ways that are related to the program and lots of ways that aren't. And what initially felt like tiny shifts and perspective changes, I can see now are adding up to much bigger changes and much bigger shifts. And really what I'm just loving the most is I'm feeling so much more confident in myself, much calmer, more able to trust, as I said earlier. And I've done a lot of work over these last 2 sprints around letting go of some quite deep-seated beliefs and patterns, recognizing them, understanding them, processing them, and then actually finding letting them go, I hope. And it really feels like there is some magic happening underneath the surface that I don't think would be there if I hadn't joined Embody Your Design. And the last thing I'll say is that Ebony is a one-of-a-kind teacher, and as someone who's worked with lots of people over the years, as I said, she has a real gift for sharing and transmuting human design, gene keys, astrology, so much, so much. She brings so much together, which I really appreciate. And she synthesizes it and weaves it all together in this really masterful way that is fun and enjoyable and powerful and potent and really just creates incredible change. And it's such a gift. And I am hugely grateful to be part of this program. I'm hugely grateful for Ebony, for the community of people that she brings together. She brings a really unique, supportive group of people together from across the globe. And everyone is so kind and so supportive and totally on the path with you in their own unique way. And Embody Your Design is an adventure. I would say dive in with both feet, trust the process, trust yourself, and you will not be disappointed. Thank you so much.